People of Reddit. What terrible path in life no one should ever take. Serious. Brush your teeth. Can't begin to understand why I let mine rot. But while dentures may be easier to look after, they will never be as comfortable or as functional as my original set. This needs to be way higher up. I can't stress how important it is to brush at least twice a day, especially before bed. Out of curiosity, how bad were your guys' brushing habits, and for how long? As a child, my brushing habits were fine as far as I can remember, but I still ended up with a mouthful of cavities. And now my teeth are continuing to have issues as I and the fillings get older. On the other hand, my wife and her 10 siblings never had a single cavity growing up, and she describes her childhood brushing habits as much more lax than mine. It seems some people just have better teeth than others. But I'll tell you, from personal experience, I don't care how strong you think your teeth are. Do your best to take care of them, because they don't grow back. Living with unhealthy teeth can get very painful, and fixing them is expensive. It's partly to do with how well your saliva acts as a buffer. If your saliva is crap at neutralizing acids, then you will most likely end up with fillings. Marrying for money. My mom lives around a sea of housewives who will want to leave their husbands, but can't because they've never had a career and wouldn't be able to survive on their own financially. Basically the town I grew up in. Hot trophy wives left and right that only married for money. Not all the moms were gold diggers, but a good majority were just living their best life on their rich husband's dime. Shopping, cars, fancy brunches with the other trophy wives. It is so very obvious. They would not survive 2 weeks on their own. Are they generally happy though? What about the husbands? I can't honestly say whether the wives were happy or not. It is more like they were the hot girls from high school that never wanted a career to begin with and just wanted to marry rich. Now they did exactly what they wanted, and they have all their other hot friends that did the same thing. So they roam around in their $100K cars going to yoga classes, day drinking, shopping sprees, and gossip. Most of them are very involved in their kids' life at least. This was a public school, but in a wealthy area, so basically a preppy private school. Everyone here was new money, so the parents really wanted their kids to make something of themselves and push hard for success. The moms were proud of their kids' efforts and supported them all they can. The thing is, you make all this money and work so hard and so long, and you don't even get to live it. You are a glorified slave, while at the same time your wife is living the best possible life. And when your marriage is based on the fact that your husband has money for you, it is never enough. You will always want more, which will ultimately lead to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. This is only maybe 65% of the families here. The rest are just regular families that happen to have high-paying jobs and work together to get where they are. Like my parents. They got married as my mom joined med school, had me at the same time, and my dad did his stuff to help pay for it. Then after years of apartments we finally moved to this town and got a house for the first time. And I know for a fact that there is no way in hell that my dad is a trophy husband, lol. I want the second type of marriage, but to be honest the first one sounds great too, as long as spouses generally like and respect each other. Joining an MLM. It's a financial disaster unless you are one of the very few people who are in at the beginning or have a large following that will buy what you sell and have proven this already. MLM products are expensive and low quality, and the way they make money is predatory and not logically possible for anyone not at the top of the scheme. Don't buy MLM. You are only enabling your friends, family, acquaintances, etc. to stay in this scam for longer and lose more money in the long run. If you do, you will not be helping them. Just like you wouldn't give alcohol to an alcoholic. Don't give money to an MLM, no matter who is selling it. I refuse to buy from MLMs, and every couple weeks or so I see someone else in my social network get roped into Lipson's, Color Street, Arbonne, etc. And I brace myself for the hey girl message. Thankfully no one's gotten too aggressive or guilt trippy yet, But I know how these companies convince you that if your friends truly care about you, they'll try the product and help you grow your business, which leads some distributors to take rejection super personally. It's super sad to see friends get sucked into. You watch them lose more and more money and see them begging for people to buy online. It's hard because you want to help but don't want the products and know it wouldn't help anyways. They only see it as you letting them down. People pleasing. As a wise man once said, you can't make everyone happy. You're not pizza. A man and his son were once going with their donkey to market. As they were walking along by its side, a countryman passed them and said, "You fools. What is a donkey for but to ride upon?" So the man put the boy on the donkey and they went on their way. But soon they passed a group of men, one of whom said, "See that lazy youngster? He lets his father walk while he rides." So the man ordered his boy to get off and got on himself. But they hadn't gone far when they passed two women, one of whom said to the other, "Shame on that lazy lout to let his poor little son trudge along." Well, the man didn't know what to do, but at last he took his boy up before him on the donkey. By this time they had come to the town, and the passers-by began to jeer and point at them. The man stopped and asked what they were scoffing at. The men said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself for overloading that poor donkey of yours, you and your hulking son?" The man and boy got off and tried to think what to do. They thought and they thought, till at last they cut down a pole, tied the donkey's feet to it, and raised the pole and the donkey to their shoulders. They went along amid the laughter of all who met them till they came to Market Bridge, when the donkey, getting one of his feet loose, kicked out and caused the boy to drop his end of the pole. In the struggle the donkey fell over the bridge, and his feet being tied together he was drowned. "That will teach you," said an old man who had followed them. "Please all, and you will please none." Aesop's fable. When I was growing up in the Middle East, I went to a school that had a huge mural on the wall of the school courtyard with that story. It made a huge impression on me that was the lesson the school wanted me to remember. And I did. Now this is a beautiful teaching for kids. Do you think it helped down the line? I wish I had learned this lesson as a little kid. Yes, it definitely helped me. Maybe it made me a bit rebellious in my family, in the sense that I didn't try to please my siblings and parents as much, and truly carved my own identity. I think Aesop was saying we should listen to our own hearts as the one constant throughout life. All the advice coming from others is just that advice, to be considered and then followed or discarded. Good for you. Sounds like the perfect balance. If I ever have kids, I'll try to teach them the same, and then regret when they don't listen to me. D. Neglecting your own health. Used to think I'm damn near invincible because I'm still young. Worked about 70 hours a week just for that damn raise. Neglected health checkups just because I can. Got diagnosed with glaucoma and my left eye is quite fucked up. Not sure what the future holds for me, but I'm damn sure taking care of my body now. I read this after I'd just been given a month off for a concussion I got a few weeks ago. My natural instinct is to power through it, but then I read this and think my health isn't worth this 9 to 5 at the end of the day. You do not mess with concussions. Concussions may not seem as bad as a broken bone, but they are. Listen to your doctor. They know what's best. I didn't take it as serious as I should at the start, but it's been like 3 weeks and the symptoms are still affecting me, so now it's big recovery time. Gotta listen to my body while I'm still in shape. I literally was in the same position as you a month ago. Computer screens and stress delayed and slowed my recovery so much. Don't mess around with concussion, kids. A relationship for the sake of having a relationship, or ignoring the doubts that should really be considered. You may just end up in an abusive marriage that lasts far too long because you no longer have the self-confidence to leave and do what's best for your child. Just a hypothetical, of course. Spend more than you earn. This, and the guy at the bank isn't your friend. He literally is. We play D&D on Thursdays. Well then, congratulations. Lucky guy.